Welcome to Radical Release, a healing series within There's No Way I Signed Up for This. This series was born in the in-between, the moments no one claps for, the silent breakdowns, the whispered prayers, the kind of healing that happens when no one's watching. This isn't about getting it all right. It's about learning to return to yourself with gentleness, with faith, and with enough grace to know that not having all the answers still means you're enough. Here, we talk about love after loss, peace after chaos, and how to hear God again, even when it's been quiet for a very long time. So take a breath. This is where we begin the radical release. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks and I've been MIA. And this is where this episode's going to be kind of give clarity, but also transparency of and on my own journey. So there's not going to be a whole lot of additional stuff, homework and things of that nature, like you see in other episodes, but more of a space for honest reflection and for you all, again, because we're going through this healing journey together, to see that even people who are assisting others do not always have it together. So the title of the episode was, Sometimes When You Go Out to Play with Demons, Some May Follow You Home, or something like that. Depends on how long I want the title to be. And that's what's been going on probably for the past few weeks. So we were at the final stages of wrapping up Radical Release as we went into the reflect portion of the framework. And I found myself in some emotional, spiritual challenges. Sometimes we mask for so long, we don't know we're doing it. And sometimes we mask for so long, you don't even know who you are anymore outside of that mask. And it takes a circumstance, an interaction, an experience to put light into a space that had been dark for a very long time. And that's where I found myself, and still currently finding myself. I'm still fighting them, right? Those freaking demons that I had in the closet. Cleaning out my closet, I guess you could say, has been going on for the past few weeks. To where I had boxed up and packed away certain emotions and certain feelings, because those emotions and feelings caused hurt, pain, and just wasn't beneficial for me. So I packed them up, right? Think of it like in an attic, and you have all your stuff and, core memories, experience, and this, that, and the other. You can go and take them and move them and interact with it when you want to. When you're done, pack it away. But this particular emotion, feeling, was packed so far back in the dark. I'd forgotten it was there because the mask had taken over. And then you bump into a circumstance, a person, a situation, and light is shed on there. And you're like, oh, I forgot you were there. I forgot I had packed you away so nicely and tight and in the corner of this attic where there was no light, so I can proceed with my life, because that brought a lot of hurt, pain, and trauma. An example would be somebody who has been victimized to where physical touch is a threat. So for me, certain emotions had become a threat because those emotions equated pain, hurt, sometimes physical. So what better idea to pack it away? But what happens when something, a circumstance, somebody sheds light in that space? So even if you are out helping and trying to guide other people, don't make the same mistakes I did, let's work on this together, but you have forgotten that was there, when light shines on it, it's even more problematic, right? Because you're like, I completely had trauma so deep that the feeling of attachment is a threat, was a threat. Now, it's a very specific attachment. I have attachment with my kids, I have attachment with family and friends. It's that attachment that brings in healthy relationships. So you might see it reflected as being emotionally unavailable or attracting people who are emotionally unavailable because you know you don't have to touch that dark part that you've packed away, right? Or keeping distance or only letting people get so close to you because you know you don't have to interact with that. But sometimes something happens beyond all your control, right? Something occurs where that individual, the circumstance, whatever, was able to backdoor, was able to put the secret code in, was able to sneak beyond your radars, and now they're shining a light in that space, and you have to deal with it. That's where I've been in the past few weeks. So, because this series is about transparency and that we are going through it together, including myself, I do not have all the answers. I can only tell you what it's looked like for me and to let you know if you have found yourself or will find yourself in situations like this, that it's okay. You keep going. So that was my choice, right? To keep going. Like, okay, I had masked for so long to where I had forgotten that's something that I wanted. And I forgot it was there. So now it's a reframing, it's a relearning, it's a re-understanding of those emotions, those types of feelings aren't threats. The threat was the person who caused the trauma initially, not everybody else after. Now, is that easy? No, this is not easy work. And I'm not going to sit here and make it sound like it is. It's not easy work. Because the very first thought I had was to haul ass. It's like, oh, the light has shone. That's the dark, icky, dusty, cobwebbed part in my soul I don't want to deal with. So the first thought was to run, get away from whatever is shining light in that space, and then the light goes dark and I don't have to deal with it again. But what kind of hypocrite would I be to come back to finish this episode knowing I'm not dealing with my crap, right? So the decision was, once I recognize what occurred, there's a decision you have to make. And sometimes your behaviors jump before you do, right? That trauma responsible jump before you do. And you turn around to run. But that frontal lobe, that cognitive space, the awareness of, no, I'm not running this time. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to handle it. So you use that same light that shined on that stuff to help you clear it out. What does that look like? It's going to look different for everybody. It depends on what you've experienced, what you've hidden, what you tried to keep hidden, what you forgot was even there. It's going to look different for everybody. But what I wanted to do this episode, before we finish out the series and the next 3 episodes, was just to have a transparent conversation that sometimes things occur where you have to make a decision. Are you going to continue to live and a mask? Are you going to continue to live where you hope no one ever finds that dark, moldy, dusty, cobweb space in your soul? Or are you going to say, you know what, it's time for spring cleaning, even though it's summer now where I'm at, but we need to clear this out, because there's going to be some opportunities in your life. There's going to be some people in your life that's going to be the requirement. You're not going to be able to move forward in some spaces unless you clear things out that you have kept hidden. So sometimes cleaning out your closet is not necessarily based on actions that you participated in that you don't want anybody to know. Sometimes cleaning out your closet is based on emotions, feelings, and pain that you've tried to keep hidden so far deep. So Proverbs 4:23 states, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. But what if there's a part of your heart that's murky and muddy and closed off without getting the light of day? Just because you've forgotten that's there, everything you do flows from it. So this is not meant to be a long, drawn-out episode, but just to check in for individuals who are like, okay, where's the next few episodes? That's what's been going on. I've been so busy adopting other people's demons, I forgot to take care of my own. So that's what I've been doing. And it's not easy work. It's been kicking my ass, absolutely. There's been long conversations with God, crying moments, and shutdown moments. Because sometimes you need that quietness to kind of filter through what's going on, right? Psalm 139:23-24 says, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts, and see if there is any offensive way in me. So I offer you those verses, but I also offer you the opportunity to search yourself. Has there been a moment where something, a circumstance, somebody shone light into a space of you and your soul and really saw who you were, and it scared you? That's the area you need to work in. We can work in the areas that are easy, right? Okay, I need to check this box off. Okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Okay, I'm doing soft life activities. I'm getting my sleep. I'm doing my skincare. But none of that matters if there's a part of damage that's in your soul that's eating you from the inside out. So, there it is. That's what's been going on with me. But not to make it sound negative, this is it's a great thing. Because in that decision I made to turn back around and say, no, I'm not running, I don't want to run, was the time and the decision that made me start walking a different path, a different journey. And it might not look pretty, right? It might not be easy, but it's worth it. And if we're really talking about healing and progressing, it's something that has to be done. So, with all that being said, I will be back on track next week with starting the last part of the framework of radical release. I will put the verses that I refer to in the pod notes so you all can check it out. And if you haven't checked out the spiritual assessment already that's on the website, go check it out. It's a quick assessment, but it not only identifies your spiritual gifts, it shows you how you might already be using it in everyday life and how it looks in today's culture, right? Because a lot of spiritual gift assessments focus on what it looked like in the Bible. And yes, you will get that information too, but you're also going to get what it looks like in today's life, today's society. So you can probably see where you're already using your spiritual gifts, but also how you can use it as you expand and enhance your connection in the kingdom. So I hope you all are well. There are some scary times going on, so please stay close to your family, your friends, and let's shed some light on some spaces that probably have been left in the dark for a very long time. As always, please take care and chase your joy.